Hey everybody, it's Chris Mahan with another Parenting Car Talk video. It's been a long time since my last Car Talk video, and I don't even have my little mount in here today, so I'm holding it, so if it's all bouncy, I apologize. But I haven't done a video in a while because there's just been a lot going on, but I wanted to talk about something today that's been really bothering me, and it happens to do with a former industry that I worked in and now a major university that I have been absolutely a diehard fan of for the last 40 years of my 50 years on this earth. And that is the issues we are now seeing with sexual predators, sexual assault, and all of the prolific names and crimes that are coming out because of these people. Most recently, of course, we got the Harvey Weinstein case, and we've got the Al Franken case, and all of the allegations and whatnot from people on the political spectrum of President Trump. And now at Michigan State University, my favorite school, a school that I thought was at a higher standard than most, has come out as being probably one of the most horrible cases in recent events. The most horrific sexual assault case in my lifetime, with Dr. Nassar assaulting over 150 young girls on both the Michigan State team and the U.S. gymnastics team. Sorry, I'm driving here. This guy just pulled out in front of somebody. That's why it's kind of scary to do this when we're driving. But anyway, I don't want to be part of a car wreck. It wasn't me, by the way. But anyway, I want to let parents know that this is a problem all over. It's not just a problem in the political spectrum or in Hollywood or at major universities. A couple of years ago, Stanford was the big problem with the Brock Turner case, a rape case. And, of course, before that, it was Penn State. I had hoped that between Penn State and Stanford and other cases, that other universities and organizations would come together and say, listen, we've got a problem here that needs to be addressed, and we need to come together as an organization and or as a culture and say enough is enough. Well, after Stanford, after Penn State, clearly Michigan State did not get the message, and now they are under a full investigation, not only from the athletic department, but apparently the entire university. And it's shocking to me. It's absolutely disappointing. I can't even describe how disappointing. But here's the point I want to make this video. As parents, we have to be the frontline defense, not just at universities and sporting events or in our political spectrum or in other industries. Everywhere we have to be telling our kids, look, this type of stuff happens. So as parents, we have to be the ones to say, here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to find yourself in a situation that you cannot get yourself out of. So if something does happen, we also want to teach our young people how to self-advocate and how to be self-aware. One of the biggest problems that I see today is young people, ages, I don't know, from 12 to 25 even, do not know how to speak up for themselves. They do not have a voice. And I think that's part of the problem in Hollywood. I think that was part of the problem with everything that happened at Michigan State and Penn State. Young people do not know how to say, hey, this just happened to me. And also, as a culture, we need to believe them. We need to say, this is not going to happen here anymore. Hundreds and hundreds of lives are damaged every day because of this stupid thing called sexual assault, because men, and now even women, we see it a lot with women going after young boys in schools. A lot of school teachers in the last couple of years have not been able to keep their hands to themselves, or to, for a better phrase, keep it in their pants. What two people do as consenting adults is one thing. When you attack a child, when you go after an innocent person, when you go after a person who's been drugged or has been drinking and take advantage of them, that's a crime. That's a flat-out crime. You need to go to jail. And this is something that I think our parents need to be more aware of and talk about it. Talk about it openly. We just had a friend recently, she went on a sales call and she was drugged. 23 years old. She was drugged and called me one day and said, hey, I just left the hospital. I was there all night. This guy puts this drug in my drink that the hospital couldn't even recognize. It was some black market thing. Here's what happened. This stuff happens every day all over this country. So as parents, we have to be the ones to say, listen, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of who you're with. Always have an out. And if something does happen, God forbid, tell right away. Right away. So that's today's message. That's a little bit longer than most videos. I hope this helps. Talk to your kids of all ages. I don't care if you got a boy, you say, hey, listen, don't treat girls this way. If you got a girl, say, hey, listen, don't allow yourself to be in this position because here's what can happen. Be smart. Whatever that conversation has to be with you and your child, have it. Have it often. Have it today. Have it next week. Whatever you have to do it to remind them that this happens all over the place. Every state, every city, every industry, and clearly by leaders that we should be looking up to, and they should have a higher standard. They are not doing anything about it. Clearly, they're not. So as parents, it's our job to do that. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, give me a call. Actually, you write me. leadyourteen@gmail.com. You can find me right here at that email, leadyourteen@gmail.com, or leave a message right here on YouTube, and I'll be glad to get back with you as soon as possible. Thanks.